morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Bucknuts Morning 5 here on Friday, January 26th, 2018. I am Dave Biddle. Very happy to be joined by Jonah Booker. J-Book, it took a lot of lucky shots, including the final lucky shot for Ohio State to finally lose a game in the Big Ten. They lost last night 82-79 against Penn State, with Penn State hitting a bank shot at the end, three-pointer to win it. I thought the officiating was terrible. I thought Penn State really had a lot of lucky three-pointers that went in. Just your thoughts on that game last night.
Yeah, Penn State was absolutely lucky. I mean, they shot 76% from three-pointer, and they were just throwing up prayers and they were going in. So they will not shoot that well behind the arc for the rest of the year. I guarantee it. 76%, that's ridiculous. And then the way the game ended, I mean, it was an exciting last 5 seconds of the game, but you have to give Ohio State credit. One thing you really have to love about this basketball team, Dave, is they don't quit. They kept fighting to the very end. They didn't play well the first, 35 minutes of the game. The last, few minutes, they really picked the tempo up and the shots start falling. But you mentioned the referees. That was just a horrible officiated game all the way around. Just terrible calls, lucky shots from Penn State, but on to Indiana for the Buckeyes. But you have to like where this basketball team is headed. It gets you fired up for March Madness, because I think this team has the potential to really make some noise in the tournament.
Yeah, it's good that we care again. It's good that we're pissed off again. Last couple of years, I mean, maybe we were kind of mad here and there, but there was no game that really, there was such a malaise around the program. I guess, to do a little spin doctoring, it's, in a way to be good to be pissed off again, because it means something. I think the game really turned early in the second half. Buckeyes took a lead, 1-point lead. Jayshawn Tate drove down the lane, clearly looked like it would have been an and one, definite foul on Penn State for blocking. Tate laid it in. They somehow called charging on the play, and the Buckeyes ended up tying it at the very end with Keita Bates-Diop hitting the 2 threes late and everything. But I thought that's really where the game changed. That was, of all of the shaky calls, and you can understand some when these athletes are going this fast, you can miss some calls. But that's the one that really sticks in my craw, is Jayshawn Tate. That was obvious. It should have been an and one, not a charge, in my opinion, J-Book.
And I think the three-pointer by Bates-Diop at the very end to tie the game up, I think that should have been called an and one as well. He got fouled on that one, and then the possession before that, when Ohio State was down 3, they went for the 2 on the layup. He was fouled in, and they never called it. So I think there was definitely some questionable officiating in this basketball game. Not surprising from the Big Ten refs, but I'm just encouraged the way the basketball team is headed right now. They could have folded up shop and called it a day against Penn State, the way those guys are just shooting those threes. But they didn't. They kept fighting. They had some unlucky breaks. I think this basketball team is showing a lot of heart and character. And as you mentioned, we're all pissed off about it, so that means that this basketball team is headed in the right direction. And one thing that I didn't really think about it, but it makes a lot of sense. I saw some national last night on Twitter, some national beat writers even throwing Bates-Diop's name out there as a potential National Player of the Year candidate if Ohio State continues to merge and he continues to play as well as he is. I didn't think about that, but that's really starting to make a lot of sense to me.
That would be fantastic. Let's switch gears to a happier subject, Ohio State football recruiting. Just your general thoughts on how they might close out this class. I know there's been some bad news with Javonte Jean-Baptiste, but overall, how are you feeling about the Buckeyes closing out this 2018 football recruiting class?
Yeah, I think we miss on Baptiste. I know Dan Rubin, he's a huge fan of his, really loves his tape. I think he heads to Nebraska. Looks like we're going to get the wide receiver for California, and Steve Wilfong. He came on our message boards and really gave a big tip of the cap to the Ohio State coaching staff as well as the recruiting department, because they were in on him early before a lot of the Pac-12 schools. They got that offer out despite him not having the major offers from the USCs or the Oregons or the UCLAs. So that's going to pay off big time with the Buckeyes, because Ryan Day and Zach Smith absolutely hit a home run out the park with that tag team duo of getting the wide receiver out of California. And it looks like Walker, the offensive tackle, you have to continue to like where Ohio State's trending there coming off that official visit. That one's going to come down to the in-home business with Urban Meyer and James Franklin. If you got Urban Meyer in the ball game, this thick of things late in the season, the recruiting season, and he has a slight lead, I like our chances with the best closer in college football.
And before I let you go, just all of the coaching situation going on with Ohio State, with Ryan Day being promoted, with Alex Grinch coming in and Kerry Combs leaving. Just to wrap it all up in a nutshell for me, your thoughts on the coaching turnover at Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, not just Ohio State, it's everywhere, David. It's pretty crazy. I mean, you look at it. I'm very curious to see how the hierarchy and the structure is going to be, especially with Alex Grinch coming in. Is he going to be calling the defense? Is it going to be Schiano? Where's Grinch going to be at? Will they move him into Kerry Combs' role as the sole corner, or will Urban step out and try to hire another position coach as a 10th assistant for the corners? A lot of that's a lot of moving pieces there. It's going to probably be contingent on what type of coach that you can give, but it's exciting. One thing that does concern me, though, is I think this Ohio State team coming up is probably Urban's best teams besides that 2014 season as far as pound for pound, how much talent. So you want to have that coaching chemistry and cohesive down so that it's not an issue come the season, because you want this team rocking and rolling and clicking on all cylinders, especially on the defense. Mike Vrabel, I know a lot of Ohio State fans are salty about him trying to poach the Buckeyes coaching staff, but to me, I think he's a guy that really appreciates, and he knows that those guys on the staff. He knows them personally. He knows they're heck of a coaches, and he wants to get those guys into his coaching staff to try to give him the best opportunity to succeed, and you can't blame the guy. But one thing that I wanted to bring up is how about the Michigan coach, Enos, leaving from Michigan after 1 week going to Alabama. So, us Ohio State fans, we're hate to see Kerry Combs go, but he definitely, paid his dues with us. But here's Michigan. They're trying to fill their spots up, and they have coaches jumping ship within a month. Who knows if Ed Warner's going to jump ship from there and go to Tennessee as well. So I think it's comical. You see the Michigan fans on social media having a meltdown because Nick Saban basically flipped one of Jim Harbaugh coaches from him.
I'm glad we can finish the show with a laugh after that, unpleasing basketball game last night. Jonah Booker always comes strong. Thank you very much, J-Book. You can catch his column every week on Bucknuts. It is outside Columbus. So thank you very much to Jonah Booker, and thank you very much to all the listeners out there for tuning in to the show. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. Let's hear that Buckeye swag, best damn band in the land.